house was quiet, but not the peaceful kind of quiet. This one felt heavy, like something inside it was slowly breaking. In the middle of the room, a tiny little boy sat on the floor, tears rolling down his cheeks, his small hands clenched tightly as his chest rose and fell with each painful breath. "Stop crying!" His mother's tired and frustrated voice echoed behind him. "I just fed you, I just played with you. What do you even want now?" But the little boy didn't stop, because the truth was, he didn't even know what he wanted. He wasn't crying for candy or toys. He was crying because his tiny heart was feeling something too big, too confusing, something he couldn't understand, let alone explain. His father sighed from the couch. "Yeh bacha aise hi hota hai, ziddi." And just like that, a label was placed on a heart that didn't even understand itself yet. The little boy cried harder, not because he understood the word, but because he felt something deeper, a sense of being alone. That night, he fell asleep the same way he always did, with tears still wet on his face and a silent lesson settling inside him. Maybe no one understands me. The next morning, sunlight gently entered the room, the world outside calm and fresh. But inside, the same routine was waiting. "Wake up! Jaldi uthao ise!" His mother rushed around, busy with her own world, while the little boy slowly opened his eyes, confused, searching for something he couldn't name. Safety. He reached out his tiny hand and whispered, "Ma." But she replied, "Abhi nahi. Late ho raha hai." And just like that, his first emotional need of the day was left unanswered. Later, he noticed something colorful on the table, candy, and his eyes lit up, not because of the sugar, but because in his small world, this was happiness. He reached for it, but before he could touch it, a sharp "no" stopped him. His hand froze, his eyes widened, and he looked at his mother, silently asking why. But no explanation came. Just another "no." And suddenly, the storm inside him exploded. He threw himself on the floor, crying louder, screaming, rolling from side to side, his tiny body trying to release something too heavy to carry. From the outside, it looked like a tantrum, but from the inside, it was a breakdown. His father picked up his phone, "Dekho zara, kitna drama karta hai," and started recording. The little boy saw it, not the phone, but the feeling behind it. Instead of comfort, he was being watched. Instead of understanding, he was being judged. His cries grew louder because now he wasn't just upset. He felt completely alone. Somewhere nearby, an old woman watched from her window, whispering softly. They think he's being difficult, but they don't see. He's just asking for help. Inside that tiny brain, millions of connections were forming, emotions growing faster than understanding. He had feelings but no language, needs but no control, and when the world said no, his heart heard, "You don't matter." That pain turned into tears. That night again, the same voices echoed, "Bas karo ab, kitna rota hai ye bacha." But this time something was different. He didn't cry as loudly, didn't scream as much. He just lay there quietly, staring at the ceiling, and that silence was more dangerous than the noise, because slowly, he was learning that if he expressed himself, no one listened. So maybe he should stop trying. But just when it seemed like nothing would change, something unexpected happened. The next day, as he sat quietly holding his toy, someone new entered the room. A woman with calm eyes and a gentle presence. She didn't stand over him. She knelt down to his level. She didn't say, "Stop crying" or "Be quiet." She simply looked at him and softly said, "You're trying to tell something, aren't you?" The little boy froze. For the first time, someone didn't try to stop him. Someone tried to understand him. His lips trembled, his eyes filled with tears again. But this time they felt different. Not tears of frustration, but of being seen. And in that moment, something inside him changed forever. Because sometimes, one person who understands can rewrite a child's entire world. And this was just the beginning. The room was the same, the walls were the same, the people were the same. But something had changed. For the first time, someone didn't try to stop him, didn't say "Be quiet," didn't call him difficult. She simply stayed. The little boy looked at her with tear-filled eyes and uneven breath, as if silently asking, "Are you going to leave too?" But she didn't. She moved closer, slowly and gently, and sat beside him. Not above him, not controlling him, but with him. "You're feeling something big, aren't you?" she said softly. And no one had ever said that before. No one had ever tried to understand his feelings. And suddenly, his cries softened, not because the pain disappeared, but because someone finally saw it. He didn't know the words, but his heart felt it. I'm not alone anymore. For the first time, he didn't need to scream. Louder to be heard because someone was already listening. That day, something small happened, but it changed everything. When he reached for candy again, his mother was about to say no like always, but the woman gently stopped her, knelt down, looked into his eyes and said softly, "You want this, right?" The little boy froze. His eyes widened, not because of the candy, but because someone understood him. He nodded slowly and she continued gently, "It looks yummy, but too much of it can hurt your tummy." Her voice was calm, not angry, not loud, just full of care. The boy looked at the candy, then back at her, and for the first time, something inside him started thinking instead of reacting. Slowly, his hand dropped. No screaming, no rolling, no storm, just calm. His mother stood there shocked, and the woman smiled softly and said, "He didn't need control. He needed connection." Days passed, and slowly the house began to change. Not because the baby changed, but because the parents did. When he cried, they didn't shout anymore. They came closer, sat beside him and said, "You're upset, right?" Simple words, but they built something powerful. Trust. When he threw things, they didn't call him naughty. They gently held his hands and said, "Let's try again." When he got scared, they didn't ignore him. They picked him up, held him close, and slowly his world started to feel safe again. Weeks later, something incredible happened. One day, the little boy fell. Before he would have cried loudly, rolled on the floor, looked around helplessly, but this time he paused. His eyes filled with tears, but he didn't scream. He looked toward his mother, and she was already there, kneeling, smiling softly. It hurt, didn't it? He nodded and then quietly walked into her arms. No chaos, no breakdown, just trust, because now he knew, when I feel something, someone will understand. And that is the truth. Children are not born difficult, not born stubborn, not born to test you. They are born to feel. And when those feelings become too big, they don't need punishment or labels. They need you, your patience, your calm voice, your understanding. Because the way you respond today becomes the voice inside them tomorrow. So next time your baby cries, pause for a moment, look into their eyes and ask yourself, are they being difficult or are they asking for help? Because sometimes the smallest change in you creates the biggest change in them. And then, life didn't suddenly become perfect because no home ever is, but something beautiful had quietly taken root in their hearts. The little boy still cried sometimes, still fell, still got upset over small things. But now, those moments didn't turn into storms anymore, they became bridges. Bridges that connected him to his parents, instead of pushing him away. Where there was once frustration, there was now patience. Where there were raised voices, there were now gentle words. And where there was distance, there was now warmth. His parents began to notice the little changes. The way he looked at them before reacting. The way his tiny hands reached out instead of pushing away. The way his tears didn't last as long because he knew, deep inside, that someone would come, someone would understand. And slowly, unknowingly, they were shaping something far bigger than behavior. They were shaping his heart, his confidence, his sense of safety in this world. Because a child who feels understood doesn't need to fight for attention, doesn't need to scream to be heard, doesn't need to break things to express feelings. They learn to trust, to calm themselves, to grow. One evening, as the sun set softly through the window, the little boy ran toward his mother, not crying, not upset, just smiling, and wrapped his tiny arms around her. There was no reason, no demand, just love. And in that moment, his mother realized something that changed her forever. It was never about controlling him. It was about connecting with him. Because children don't remember every word we say, but they always remember how we made them feel. And one day, when they grow up and face the world on their own, the voice inside their head will sound just like us. So if today we choose patience over anger, understanding over judgment, and connection over control, tomorrow they will choose confidence over fear, calmness over chaos, and love over everything. And that is how a small change in a parent creates a lifetime of strength in a child.